in that mindset.
Yes, and that's what I like so much about the whole concept of grit, because that resilience allows you to see past what's
Yeah,
right in front of you, and that's why in time is so relevant, right? I mean,
right,
that moment may have been something that you even perceived was something that it wasn't there. It's like in what I found in corporate. If you look at my name, Elgin Kellogg, nothing about that says that I'm black. Okay, and
right.
so a lot of my correspondences are by email. So when I get to someone's office, here's how you know that they are surprised. Oh, you're Elgin, right? Now I can take that in a way that would offend me because
Yeah,
you made that differentiation, or I can look at it and say, "Wow, I can take this opportunity to absolutely change what you
right,
thought you knew about
exactly.
somebody in my field who looks like me."
But and I'm gonna kind of joke. My last name's White, right? So I've had a blast with this.
Yes.
So to me, I love it when people are asking me my name. They're like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "India, last name White," and they just kind of look up like, But I learned to joke about it and have a great sense of humor.
Well,
So
and that's it about, and that's why I said slow down, right? Because
yeah,
like sometimes something else is, especially a guy, you go somewhere and maybe you'll be in a group of white people or any other race, and they'd be like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" And they started giving me a hand, just to like soul shake kind of thing. So I mess with them. I'd be like, and they're looking at me like I don't know what to do. But instead of being offended, I lean into it, and they looking at me, and then I start laughing, and then they start
I
laughing
love it.
because I'm telling it doesn't take all that, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. Just
yeah.
be a great human being, and we'll get along fine.
Right. You don't gotta bust out the collard greens and mac and cheese and hot dogs.
Exactly.
Let's just be cool here and let's collaborate. So
Or is it? I mean, can I tell you the stares I get when I go to the sushi restaurant and that I actually know how to use chopsticks?
right. And I think it's amazing you said that. Like my son is obsessed with chopsticks to the point that I had to buy him a metal pair of chopsticks because he loves eating chopsticks. So I think that's great that you're saying that because it does kind of break off those kind of biases and those stereotypical barriers of like,
Mhm.
listen, we're in this thing together. Like we're human, just like you. We're enjoying ourselves just like you. We're here in America. We're American. We're loving it, just like you. We're not oppressed. We're not victims. And I think that it takes a lot of engage principles of the engage concept with grit to
Yes.
really get to that mindset. So I
But
think that's
but if
great.
I can add something right quick, and sorry to interrupt you,
Okay.
is that grit also mandates that you do be corrective though. If they
Yes.
do cross the line, that you professionally and caringly and engage, right? But
Yeah.
they need to know, no, we don't really go that route.
Yeah.
Let's rethink
I
what
love
you
it.
said. And but don't do it in anger and don't do it, in a belligerent manner, but
Right.
be very firm to let them understand that, this okay, so what you just said, let's take a look at that. And when you do it that way, many times what you find is that they just haven't had enough interaction to
Yes.
know that they shouldn't have said it.
And that they're offending, and that's what I talk about in the work I do as an author, as a math author, textbook author. I talk about some of those things, like sometimes because there has not been exposure, there has not been a relationship with other cultures,
Mhm.
there are going to be offenses. Offenses must come, but that doesn't mean that you have to pull out your weapons and go crazy. No, it's a part of understanding of really that multiculturalism, that cross-cultural communication,
Mhm.
interhumanism, being able to really connect with people and say, you know what, I'm going to give you some I'm going to give you another chance, or I'm going to let that slide and take one for the team because you're learning. When
Yep,
are we going to open up the opportunities to learn again about
that's
culture?
right.
I remember my mentor. I love her to death, and I love her husband, and I mean, they're like family to me. And when I first started going to her home when I was a teen, they asked me, and they are Caucasian. They asked me so many questions
Mhm.
about my hair, about food I liked, about entertainers I preferred because they just didn't know.
Mhm.
Some of the questions I would in my mind process and say, did he really ask me that question about my hair? Did they really, but then I use that kind of that engaged principle of, okay, I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm going to give them an opportunity. I'm going to look into this. I'm going to be an active listener and help them understand so that the questions, they understand why I have to put grease in my hair, for instance, understanding that my hair type, we need oils in our hair, and grease is one of the oils that has been proven to grow my type of hair. Understanding the coil of our hair versus, the straight, hair, European type hair. Hair is hair. It's not bad. It's just different, and so because, I was able to use that kind of engaged principle, I was able to help them. So I think this is beautiful that you're talking about, whether it's using chopsticks or it's just having those interactions, especially corporate level. Do you have any advice for people of color that are first generations climbing up the corporate ladder, getting managerial positions and whatnot, and they are having these conversations and they're walking away feeling like it's microaggression, but it really is just a situation that they need to just kind of slow down enough and have the right perception. So what advice do you have to these successful leaders that are in that boat?
First of all, knowledge is power. Okay, so as you begin to ascend, know everything or as much as you possibly can about where you're headed. Because what happens is as you meet that level and that person who's not encountered someone who looked like you on their equal, right? Before, maybe everybody who looked like you worked for them. And now you're an equal. And they're wondering, is this an affirmative action thing? Is this how'd you get here?
Merit.
And so you must make sure that you are prepared to make that journey. And after just a few moments, okay, as I said, oh, you're Elgin, but we talk for like 5 minutes and then they understand who I am. And then all that goes away, right? And then that's just it. And then also, just as you said a moment ago, to have the grit to when someone does say something, you don't have to go off on them right there, but certainly do not let them end that day without understanding. And then you also have to be a student, because I know that when my biggest break in corporate America was when my boss said, hey, I want to promote you to this position that I was totally not qualified for. But he said, a person with your personality, I think you're going to learn everything. And so he gave me a shot. But to this very day, when I posted my TED Talk on LinkedIn, he commented, he says, you make me look so smart for ever bringing you into this company. And I said, but you don't understand that I am who I am partly because you gave me a shot at something I wasn't qualified for, but you understood that I had the grit to make sure that I deserved your trust.
I love it. And I love that, yes, there were differences, but the differences didn't stop you guys from collaborating, building a phenomenal relationship, and doing some great, wonderful business adventures together. So I commend you on that. And I compliment you on the fact that you were, pitched for that, because I know CEOs are very wise, and they know what they need to make their company go forward. So the fact that you were pitched, I know, and I know firsthand with your personality that you would be golden for any company. So I think it's beautiful that you are also doing your Review Business Strategies company, helping so many, entrepreneurs, small business owners getting started and beyond. And so with that said, Elgin, this has been an honor just having you on the show. Do you have any last minute tips for people that are just trying to figure life out, trying to figure out how to be gritty in their way of work, in their future destinies, and more?
Simply stated, don't quit. Don't quit. I mean, that's what resilience is about. Is that, that great song from the 80s, I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Okay.
That's it. That kind of drive will allow you to learn, because when you encounter things that are less than desirable, you can stand there and protest, you can stand there and fuss, you can stand there, or you can keep moving.
That's
Make
right.
notes, understand it. See, because when you learn from it, when you see it coming again, it doesn't get all the way to you. Because you're like, oh, I know this song. Okay. I know how this goes.
Right. Oh my gosh. And you don't have to fry every fish.
That's right.
But I think it's beautiful. The advice that you just gave, don't quit, keep moving. I think everyone needs to hear this and kind of own that. And so again, Elgin, it has been a high honor to have you on the show. So with that said, we want to definitely make sure that we keep in touch with you. If you guys have just joined the show or whatnot, Elgin is an amazing business strategist. He is a speaker, motivational speaker, an author, entrepreneur, and a TEDx speaker. And so with that said, if you are wanting to connect with Elgin, we're going to now put his information up. So Elgin, could you share with us your contact information for those that are wanting to connect with you, whether you come in to speak or help them with their business strategies, or, some contractual work, some projects or whatnot? How can we reach you?
Absolutely. So you can go to our website, which is www.re-viewyourbusiness.com. But LinkedIn is probably your best contact for me, because it is the one that I check the most often.
Okay.
And if not, you can email me at elgin.carelock@gmail.com.
Now, is your LinkedIn, is it your name?
Yes, it's me.
Okay.
Yes. Because I want you to know who I am before we have to, if we have any engagement on me helping you, you need to understand who you're dealing with, right? Because I am going to offend you. I am going to make you mad, but I also make you successful.
Love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm so honored to be connected with you, Elgin. Many great projects and work to come. So again, thank you so much for just everything and being on the show. So guys, listen, you have his contact information. You don't want to sleep on this. If you are a business owner, don't sleep on this. Definitely take advantage of this opportunity. So you've got his contact information here on LinkedIn, Elgin Carelock. His email is elgin.carelock@gmail.com. And so with that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Let's Get Gritty podcast. It has been absolutely phenomenal. And until next time, stay gritty. Take care, guys.
Thank you.